Hey, sports card fans, it's John, Wade Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. Today, I'll be taking a look at the top 10 PSA baseball card sales on eBay for cards from the 1980s for December 2024. For the month of December, two Reggie Jackson cards hit record high sales, and cards from 1981 Topps are featured prominently within the top 10 list. So, let's go check them out. Coming in at number 10, we have this 1982 Topps Reggie Jackson in a PSA 10. This one sold on December 27th for $3,350. It was an auction. There were 24 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $3,350, as this sale represents a new record high sale for a PSA 10 copy. The previous high was $2,025 back in April of 2023 through eBay. There have been 230 copies graded a PSA 9. Only 17 have been graded a PSA 10. At number 9, we have this 1981 Topps Rickey Henderson in a PSA 10. This one sold on December 17th for $3,482. It was an auction. There were 33 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $3,408. The record high sale was $3,985 back in August of 2024 through eBay. There have been 1,087 copies graded a PSA 9. Only 102 have been graded a PSA 10. At number 8, we have this 1983 Topps Tony Gwynn in a PSA 10. This one sold on December 17th for $3,598. It was an auction. There were 20 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $3,317. The record high sale was $4,750 back in February of 2021 through a PWCC listing on eBay. There have been 5,986 copies graded a PSA 9. 741 have been graded a PSA 10. Now, there was one other significant 1983 Topps Tony Gwynn rookie card sale in December. This one was also a PSA 10 copy that sold on December 8th for $3,155. At number 7, we have this 1984 Donruss Don Mattingly in a PSA 10. This one sold on December 25th for $3,750. It was a best offer. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $3,431. The record high sale was $6,500 back in March of 2021 through eBay. There have been 3,704 copies graded a PSA 9. Only 336 have been graded a PSA 10. Now, there was one other 1984 Donruss Don Mattingly sale in December of significance. It was also a PSA 10 copy. This one sold on December 8th for $3,500. At number 6, we have this 1981 Topps Pete Rose in a PSA 10. This one sold on December 17th for $3,828. It was an auction. There were 45 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $3,999. The record high sale was $5,509 back in January of 2024 through memory lane. There have been 500 copies graded a PSA 9. Only 32 have been graded a PSA 10. At number 5, we have this 1989 Fleer Glossy Ken Griffey Jr. in a PSA 10. This one sold on December 8th for $4,250. It was an auction. There were 40 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $3,583. The record high sale, though, was $8,595 back in February of 2021 through eBay. There have been 676 copies graded a PSA 9, 120 have been graded a PSA 10. At number 4, we have this 1981 Topps Reggie Jackson in a PSA 10. This one sold on December 17th for $4,561. It was an auction. There were 35 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is this sale at $4,561, and it represents a new record high sale for a PSA 10 copy. The previous high was only $1,353 back in July of 2020 through eBay. There have been 219 copies graded a PSA 9. This copy here is one of only 19 that have been graded a PSA 10. At number 3, we have this 1982 Topps Traded Cal Ripken Jr. in a PSA 10. This one sold on December 8th for $5,656. It was an auction. There were 108 bids. Current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $5,717. But the record high sale was $20,101 back in February of 2021 through a PWCC listing on eBay. There have been 4,485 copies graded a PSA 9. Only about 10%, 417, have been graded a PSA 10. At number 2, we have this 1986 Topps Traded Tiffany Barry Bonds in a PSA 10. This one sold on December 8th for $6,400. It was an auction. There were 46 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $6,059. The record high sale, though, was $16,000, reached twice, both in February of 2021. One was a PWCC listing on eBay, and another was a regular eBay listing. There have been 1,472 copies graded a PSA 9. 453 have been graded a PSA 10. And the number one card for the 1980s for December 2024 is this 1987 O-Pee-Chee Barry Bonds in a PSA 10. This one sold on December 9th for $21,105. It was an auction. There were 47 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $16,186. But the record high sale was $31,200 back in May of 2022 through PWCC. Now, there have been 320 copies graded a PSA 9. Only 39 have been graded a PSA 10. There you go, the top 10 PSA baseball card sales on eBay for cards from the 1980s for December 2024. As always, would love to know in the comments what you think about the cards that made this month's top 10 list. And with that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.